Hey everyone, welcome. If you're a beginner home cook, you are absolutely in the right place today. In this explainer, we're going to walk through a truly game-changing recipe, Chicken Alambre. Now, this is a smoky, cheesy, completely irresistible Mexican chicken skillet. It is loaded with bacon, hearty vegetables, and just perfectly melted cheese. But you know what the absolute best part is? It completely solves the stress of cooking for a crowd. We're going to take what could be a super chaotic kitchen experience and turn it into a smooth, deeply rewarding, and incredibly flavorful victory.
I completely get the feeling. You want to host some friends or maybe just feed the whole family, but the sheer thought of juggling multiple pots, perfectly timing all these different dishes, and managing a mountain of steps, it kind of makes you just want to order takeout, right? It's totally normal to feel intimidated by the thought of a messy kitchen and a complicated recipe. Okay, let's dive into this, because the method we're breaking down today is going to become your foolproof solution.
That's right. This entire culinary masterpiece happens in just one single skillet. From start to finish, you are literally only managing one pan. For a beginner cook, this is the holy grail. It instantly eliminates all that cleanup anxiety, it keeps your stovetop totally manageable, and it naturally builds deep, complex flavors because, well, everything is interacting in the exact same space. You don't need a massive array of equipment for this. Just grab one trusty 12-inch deep sauté pan or cast iron skillet, and you are good to go.
Section 1. Gather your flavor arsenal. Accessible ingredients for maximum impact.
Cooking is just so much less stressful when we break things down layer by flavorful layer, and that starts with exactly what we need on our cutting board. We've got our heavy hitters, 2 pounds of skinless chicken thighs cut into strips, 6 strips of bacon, a pound of cremini mushrooms, a thinly sliced white onion, and 5 cloves of minced garlic. Then we have our pantry heroes. You'll need 2 to 3 minced chipotle chilies, a 1/4 cup of adobo sauce, some kosher salt, black pepper, 2 teaspoons each of cumin and dried oregano, a 1/4 cup of chicken stock, and finally 10 ounces of shredded queso Oaxaca. Oh, and don't forget the cilantro and warm corn tortillas for serving. Prepping all these components before you even turn on the stove, that's exactly how professional chefs operate, and it makes this whole process incredibly accessible and totally foolproof.
Moving on to Section 2. Sear the perfect chicken. Layer 1, the foundation.
All right, so our ingredients are prepped, and we're ready to start cooking. We're going to build this dish up one distinct layer of flavor at a time. It all starts with our primary protein and a simple, really smoky marinade. First up, in a large bowl, just combine those chicken strips with a 1/4 cup of canned adobo sauce, a teaspoon of kosher salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. You just pop this in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. Actually, scratch that. You can leave it for up to 24 hours. Having that kind of flexibility is an absolute lifesaver for a busy beginner. When you're ready to cook, heat some oil in your skillet over medium-high heat until it's shimmering. That shimmering look is your visual cue that the pan is perfectly hot. Drop the chicken in, stir it occasionally, and let it cook for about 8 minutes until it's browned and cooked through. Then carefully transfer the chicken and all those amazing juices right onto a plate.
Now, this brings us to a huge make-or-break moment in the kitchen. So the crucial point is, do not wipe that skillet clean. I repeat, do not wipe it out. Doing that right now is a classic beginner mistake. You might look at the bottom of the pan and think, uh-oh, it looks dirty. But those brown bits stuck to the bottom, they are actually caramelized proteins and sugars. Leaving them right there in the pan is the literal secret to building great restaurant-quality flavor.
Section 3. Build flavor in the pan. Layer 2. The aromatic build.
Let's see how we build upon that incredible foundation we just created. We are keeping the heat going and layering in the next round of ingredients, our bacon and our vegetables. 8 to 10. That is the magic number of minutes you need for this next step. You're going to take those 6 strips of bacon, already cut into 1/2-inch pieces, and drop them straight into that now empty but still super flavorful skillet over medium heat. Just stir them occasionally for 8 to 10 short minutes until they are perfectly crisped up. Once they're done, use a slotted spoon to transfer that crispy bacon to a plate.
Now, what's really interesting about this part is a fascinating byproduct of cooking that bacon, rendered fat. This is the rich, liquid fat that simply melts out of the bacon as it crisps up. We want to leave about 2 tablespoons of this liquid gold right there in the skillet. This rendered fat, mixed with those leftover brown bits from the chicken, is going to become the absolute perfect, incredibly smoky cooking medium for our vegetables.
With that bacon fat ready and waiting, go ahead and add the sliced onion and that pound of cremini mushrooms directly into the skillet. Cook them over medium heat for about 8 to 10 minutes. You'll see them begin to beautifully brown and just absorb all that fantastic smoky bacon flavor. Once they're soft and nicely browned, it's time for the aromatics. Add in your 5 cloves of minced garlic, the 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, and the 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. You only cook these for about 30 seconds, just a quick, intense burst until they smell amazing. Then pour in that 1/4 cup of chicken stock, grab a wooden spoon and scrape the bottom of the pan.
By the way, that action of pouring in the stock and scraping the pan, it actually has a name, and mastering it will instantly level up your cooking. It's called deglazing. Deglazing is simply using a liquid, in our case the chicken stock, to scrape up and fully dissolve those intensely flavorful browned bits stuck to the bottom of the skillet. We are essentially rescuing all that built-up flavor from the chicken, the bacon, and the spices, and lifting it straight up into the vegetables. It literally takes about a minute to do, but understanding why we do it is the key to mastering one-pan cooking.
Section 4. The ultimate cheesy finish. The foolproof assembly.
Okay, so everything is cooked perfectly. The flavors are married together, and now it is time for the grand finale. And this brilliantly illustrates how effortlessly the dish comes together right at the end. You simply return your cooked bacon, the chicken, and very importantly, any of those accumulated juices right back into the skillet with the vegetables. Toss in your remaining minced chipotle chiles, stir it all constantly for about 1 minute, just until everything is warmed through. Give it a quick taste, add a pinch more salt if you think it needs it, and then for the crowning glory, top the entire mixture evenly with 10 ounces of shredded queso Oaxaca. Move the skillet straight into your oven, just make sure the rack is in the upper middle position, and broil on high for 2 to 5 minutes until that cheese is beautifully melted and bubbling.
The final step is pulling that incredibly hot, smoky, completely melted masterpiece straight from the oven. You top it off with roughly chopped fresh cilantro. That's going to add a bright herbal contrast to all that richness. And then serve it immediately, right out of the skillet, alongside a big stack of warm corn tortillas. Let me tell you, the sensory experience of pulling apart that melted Oaxaca cheese and folding it into a warm tortilla with the smoky chicken and bacon, it's simply out of this world. And you achieve the whole shebang in just one pan.
You know, you started this explainer maybe feeling a little intimidated by the idea of cooking for a crowd. But look at what you've accomplished. You just mastered the professional techniques of flavor layering and deglazing, all managed completely stress-free in a single pan. You have totally leveled up your culinary confidence today. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. As you head to the kitchen, grab your skillet, and get ready to blow your friends and family away with this amazing chicken alambre, I just have to ask, with these brand new skills in your back pocket, what will you conquer next?